It's Warriors Outsiders with Drew and Grant, the best show on the planet. Thank you.
Welcome into Warriors Outsiders presented by Fit Aid. The Citrus Melody, this is a low-calorie drink that you use to recover after working out, Drew.
And I'm gonna need multiple of these beverages to recover from how upset I am right now.
I know.
I'm gonna be watching the Super Bowl on Sunday, and I'm still gonna be angry about the Warriors not winning this game.
I know. You're an angry man. That is Drew Shiller. I am Grant Liffmann, and we have so much to get to, so let's not dilly-dally around. Okay, now, Drew, let's start with your prediction, because that's the guy I want to talk about right now. I'm not going to delay this. Okay. Steph Curry, you said, would have 40 or more points tonight, because last game you said that he didn't, because he didn't even play the fourth quarter.
Had 28 3/4, so I said I'm going to give him a second chance.
And he had that chance and took it. 37 minutes, he scored 57 points. 19 of 31 from the field, 11 of 19 from three, even though it shouldn't be a 19, it should be an 18, but it's okay. 8 of 8.
Not okay.
I know. 8 of 8.
Not okay.
8 of 8 from free throw line, which also, by the way, in his 62-point effort that he had earlier this season, he was 18 of 19 from the free throw line. So he scored 57 points tonight with just 8 made free throws, 5 assists, 2 steals. Steph Curry was sensational.
Kent Bazemore had a pretty bold statement after the game. He said that Steph Curry is the best player in basketball right now. And I'm not going to disagree with Kent Bazemore on that comment. I think that Steph is in the conversation with a handful of other guys. And we're not going to do the whole comparison is the thief of joy thing, like we mentioned during our post-game hit. But, I mean, you run out of words.
Superlatives.
Superlatives.
That's the word you didn't run out of.
That was good. That was good. It wasn't the perfect delivery, but it was still good.
Terrible
Steve
delivery. Kerr,
he called it sublime. When have we heard Steve Kerr use that word? It's almost like he's been going through a thesaurus recently to find words to describe Steph Curry. More quotes from Steve Kerr on Steph coming up soon. But no, I mean, that's why I'm so mad, because the Warriors didn't win the game. And Luka Doncic ended up making some huge shots, and he gets kind of more of the pub in the headline from a national perspective. They won the game, and he deserves that.
In general, he has been, because he was the favorite for MVP going into the season.
Right.
But Steph Curry is definitely going to get some headlines.
Of course, but he's not going to have the entire spotlight, and I'm mad about that.
If we were looking, and I don't know when's the appropriate time that you can start actually looking at an MVP race? When would you say it is?
Ooh.
After an All-Star break? Is that normally when you start looking at it? Because
a normal season, yeah, usually like after Christmas, I think is when they start to at least mention the
so how many games is that?
The campaign.
So my point is this. If you look at it right now, is Steph Curry deserving of being in there? Yes. The record is going to be the issue. Right now, Joel Embiid, what he is doing with the Sixers right now, and the record they are putting up. LeBron James, the numbers he's putting up with how well the Lakers are playing. You could say the same thing about Kawhi Leonard. The records are going to have these people elevated over Steph right now when voting actually happens. But if you look at the numbers and see what Steph Curry has done, and I will dive into them in Grant Analytics, he is putting together, as we talked about in pregame at the end of it, I would say his second most impressive season if we're just looking at stats and the way he's doing it out there. The unanimous MVP season, he was absolutely incredible. He deserved that unanimous MVP.
30 points.
And he led a team to 73 wins.
Yes.
This team, right now, what he's doing with the lack of help, it's just astounding.
Yes, it is. And, I mean, look, the Mavs and the Blazers are not the greatest defensive teams in the NBA. I was shocked how the Mavs just kind of kept letting Steph shoot the ball.
Until the very end when they started doubling, but it still wasn't even a very good double.
It wasn't. The Warriors still were able to get a wide open shot out of it, and we'll actually talk about that specific play in a little bit. Now, I'm not bringing that up to say, oh, not as impressive what Steph did. I mean, it was just, it was silly. It was unbelievable. And I want to say a Steve Kerr quote, at this point right now, okay? And this doesn't really have anything to do with what happened in this game, but it's just a reminder to Warriors fans just how special and unique Steph Curry is. Kerr said this on Friday on KNBR, so in between the two games against the Mavs. I can yell at him and he accepts it. Seriously, in many cases in the NBA, the coach can't yell at his star. I can yell at Steph. I can point him out in a film session and demand better, and he immediately agrees and responds. The quote says it all.
Yeah, no,
the quote says it all.
You hear about him off the court, what he does on the court, his leadership, how he takes instruction from coaches, everything. He's the full package. What a good guy. Hey,
but the Warriors needed to win the game, and
he's so good
I'm angry.
that during the game, the opposing team has to double check what just happened. Highlight number 1, please.
Oh, yes, yes.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Shoots the ball, logo.
From 50
Watch
feet.
his defender, Finney-Smith. Will you check out what Steph just did? While he's dancing, Finney-Smith looks where he shot the ball.
Turns around.
Watch it
looks
from
at
one
the
more
ground.
angle right here. This is it.
There are a bunch of great angles.
Wait, where was that?
Yeah, he just can't believe it. And I like that we're showing this like 18 times because we need to see it over and over again. I mean, what he's probably doing is wanting that to be on film so that way when Rick Carlisle says to him during film session, hey, how come you didn't press up on Steph?
I was all the way at the logo. I looked. That's what he was doing. He was double checking so he couldn't get called out by the coaches.
Oh, trust me.
That's 100%.
I've been called out in plenty of film sessions in my life. And you got to do the little things to try to make it, look like you really weren't at fault.
Oh my! Well, I mean, you're not at fault.
Never.
You would welcome Steph technically shooting that over and over again, and yet it's
actually I don't know if you would like. If he's got a full steam ahead and he's in rhythm dribbling,
you don't want him shooting that shot.
You need to pick him up at half court.
That's fair.
You need to.
That's fair.
Terrible defense by Finney-Smith. Right
there. I said Kelly Oubre in my prediction would have 17 or more points.
Oh, good transition.
2 or more threes. He had 14 points, did hit the 2 threes. The problem with Oubre's game, it was a very inconsistent game. And he had a couple moments where he started getting going a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, though, not a great game for Kelly Oubre. And it is a disappointing thing to see because he had such a career night, an awesome game last game. People are waiting for that stretch of games he puts together where he's consistently good. And it's just still not here.
Right.
In the past, this game would have been much worse for him.
True, it wasn't abysmal.
It was not abysmal. He was fine. He was okay at best.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, it wasn't one of those like, oh, that's awful games. But still, looking for consistency out of him, it's not there yet.
Correct. He also wasn't a major detriment. It wasn't like his plus minus was terrible. And, like you said, still had his moments, had back-to-back threes in the third quarter. But it was just like, okay. He misses his first 5 shots and then goes in for a dunk, misses it, gets fouled, only makes 1 or 2 free throws, and it's just like, man, right after he has the career high.
He missed a few tips in there as well.
Yeah, that hurts his percentage. Like when you miss those tips, it's kind of brutal that you get credited with a missed field goal, kind of like when you shoot a 60-footer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Draymond Green. So Draymond Green had the best performance I've seen in a while for a guy who had 2 points and 7 turnovers. Because, and I'll have more about the numbers, adding them all together later in Granalytics, but 6 rebounds, 15 assists, 6 steals, 4 blocks. And do you want to show a highlight here?
I do, because he deserves to be highlighted.
Wow, okay. Highlight number 2, please.
So this is early on in the game. Just watch his timing here. No, of course, Maxey ends up making the 3 later to win the game.
But he also grabs the rebound on that, too.
And he pushes, and it leads to the Kent Bazemore corner 3. Now, yes, I was just going to say, can we please see the highlight again?
That's nice.
Because, did you notice the pass by Luka?
That nutmegged him.
That it went through JTA's legs?
He did. It was a beautiful pass by Doncic.
Yes, so our editor, Brandon,
Yes.
who puts together the clips. Awesome job tonight, by the way. All the different angles and multiple.
Fantastic work.
Yeah.
Editor Brandon.
He texted and said, Draymond blocked that because he didn't want JTA to be on the highlight reels for getting
wow,
nutmeg.
What a teammate.
So Draymond, once again,
got your back.
Just being an amazing guy you want to have backing you up.
Yes.
So thank you, Brandon, for pointing that out.
That was very true, very true. Yes. Draymond Green, I'll share some stats a little later, but Drew, we have to say it one more time. Luka Doncic was phenomenal tonight, right? And
Warriors fans are upset with Luka.
Yes, but he was 7 of 12 from 3, and you keep on putting out these stats about how well he shoots against every other team in his career, and then against the Warriors. Will you please share that?
So Luka has now, I believe it is 9 games, because it was 7 when and
then you add 2.
In his career, 9 games against the Warriors, 37 for 81 from beyond the arc. That is 45.6%. Against the rest of the NBA in his
whole career,
31.1%. That is a, do the math, 14.5% difference for Luka versus the Warriors.
It's from a sensational shooter to a bad shooter. That's the difference.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 45.6 is essentially what Steph shot from 3 during his unanimous MVP season. And 31% against everyone else. And like what everyone keeps talking about with Luka is that until he can be a better 3-point shooter, it's going to limit his game a little bit. And he's not going to be able to be the super, super duper star until he can do that. Well, against the Warriors,
the Warriors, we always get to see Luka as a super duper duper star.
Yeah.
We get to see what Luka could be.
Yeah, and we also get to see him jump 10 feet forward to draw fouls. Hey, so Steve Kerr, probably going to get fined, right?
He didn't put the blame on the officials in the game.
No, he put it on the league office.
Yeah, but maybe that's how you get around the fine. You're not allowed to criticize the officials, but can you criticize the NBA? I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, look at a little workaround on that. Yeah, by the way, the rule is from now on, if you shoot a ball like that and you get the foul call, you have to then shoot your next 5 threes in the game like that, or else you never get that call again.
Remember when they called Steph for the travel?
Yes.
On the step back?
On the James Harden?
Yes.
Sorry, what? Yeah.
Although it wasn't even like that egregious. Like Steph did a good job at kind of hiding it.
One little shuffle.
And then he leaned in against Dwight Powell, right? Yeah. Do you think they would have called the foul on Dwight?
I do.
Do you?
I do. Steph does get that call a good amount, too.
He does, and Steve Kerr admitted that.
Yeah.
I think that was smart of Steve to say, oh, our guys get that, too.
Steph doesn't jump into as much as to the side when he comes.
And then he throws it up left-handed.
And then he throws up, exactly.
And last point, just about Luka real quick. I mean, it's very fair to assume that Luka has extra oomph for playing against the Warriors because he knows he's going against Steph.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. Remember, his agent had Luka work out with Steph in a private workout right after he got drafted because he wanted Luka to be around Steph's greatness, and Luka is aware of that. And he knows that when Steph plays, the spotlight is on. And so Luka, I think he really gets up.
You'll have to look for his stats against LeBron then. So many great Facebook comments coming through here. As always, Warriors Outsiders presented by Fit Aid. This one I didn't understand. It says Rich needs a stapler, so we'll get him that one as soon as we can.
A stapler?
Yeah, stapler. So I don't really, but please keep on writing into us.
Should I do the Office Space? You gonna give me my stapler?
My stapler.
What was it? What was his name? The character's name?
Milton.
Milton.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to Warriors Outsiders. True or false? Minnesota Timberwolves fans, again, are saying, "We told you so."
False.
Correct.
Last time we set this up, it was Drew because Wiggins, for the first time, didn't really deliver when the Warriors needed him to deliver. But this time around,
he delivered.
After a rough first half for Andrew Wiggins, in which he was only on the court for 8 minutes because he was in foul trouble, had 3 fouls, and he was minus 16 in his 8 minutes. Man, he stepped up in the second half. He was fantastic. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 7 of 8 from the field, and 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. And at the beginning of the fourth quarter, when Steph and Draymond were resting, Wiggins straight up carried the Warriors. And some of the shots he made were nasty, like Kobe-esque.
That's what I was going to say. Wow. I was going to say, I don't normally want to give this praise to somebody, but they were very Kobe-esque.
They were... I guess you could say they were Jordan-esque because Kobe was after Jordan.
His game, but the last person we saw do that from that range too was Kobe Bryant, and it was just
baseline fadeaway.
Yes.
And he hit a couple threes. I mean, it was like, wow, Wiggins, you're doing everything you can to help the Warriors win this game.
You could tell he had, I mean, in his own way, had that feeling of the way Steph had it where anything's coming off my hand is going to go in. You could see that with Wiggins. He was like, I'm going to get to my spot, and I'm going to make this shot. It doesn't matter who's in front of me right now. And it was very impressive work.
And he attacked Luka.
Yeah.
He went at Luka hard.
22 points. Again, for Andrew Wiggins. He's not getting 30. He's not getting 35. He's staying in that range. And they don't need, I mean, tonight they didn't need him to do more than that. They scored 132 points. But, I mean, at the end of the day, maybe one more bucket, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Or, I mean, it's like, Steph, come on, make the 60-footer.
That's what it is, unfortunately.
Come on, man.
Or the 18 calls that could have gone the other way a little bit, but didn't.
Yeah,
that was
Sometimes I think Warriors Twitter gets a little bit too much of the Steph never gets calls. But
not as much about Steph never gets calls, but there were some really egregious calls that were wrong in this game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I was focused more on how Steph doesn't get calls.
Got it.
But in this one, it really was like, man, like he was getting nudged when he was shooting, and he got to the free throw line. You said he was 8 for 8, but he could have been at the line 12, 13 times.
Yeah, and then the ball hits out of bounds, and it's on the line. Then I guess they did reverse the call later on about the foul, but it was already too late at that point. You already gave them a 7-point lead after that.
And everyone was tweeting, oh, that's a makeup call.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just trying to even it out because they knew they missed it.
Yeah, but it's not even out after that leads to a 3. I keep on pointing as if that's the baseline, but we're just, I mean, technically it's on the court.
That's the baseline.
Therefore,
in our world right here.
That is true. Fit aid.
Hey, what's up, Fit Aid?
Okay, true or false? How on earth did the Warriors get Kent Bazemore on a minimum deal?
Was that presented in a way in which?
No.
It's shocking that the Warriors were able to.
Drew.
Yeah. How on earth? Drew. Yeah. How on earth?
Drew.
He got interest, as he said, from multiple contenders.
Right.
The Nets, the Bucks, the Lakers, the Clippers. But the money was all about the same. So clearly, kind of the entire league looked at Bazemore as a minimum or just slightly above the minimum. And he said that when the money was all about the same, it just made too much sense to join the Warriors. And I just want to remind everybody about a quote of his back in December. It's not about the money. You can't buy happiness. Being back here, I'm the happiest I've been in a very long time. You just can't beat that.
Well, he's playing like a man that is happy because this game, first 20-point game of the season. In fact, just a couple games ago, it was his first double-digit game when he had 10 points. Now he doubles that with 20. In 23 minutes, 20 points, 7-11 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. He's sensational this season from 3. He's around 44%. 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a +10. He is a couple silly fouls away from just playing a perfect game all the time.
And we have talked about this multiple times, how Steve Kerr with Bazemore will sometimes yank him out of the game after he commits a foul that Kerr views as being a silly, unnecessary foul. And unfortunately, in this one again, remember when he fouled Tim Hardaway on that 3? The Warriors were up 101-100. It was late third quarter. They were kind of seizing control a little bit, even though they were up 1, but they had been down. And it was not a good foul. And I'm saying that very nicely. It was not a good.
But he was playing so well in the game, you can't be mad at him technically about that fully because
he completely changed the game.
Yes.
Early on, the Warriors were down 18-2. He checked in and picked up the pressure defensively and was able to force the Mavs into a turnover. And then we already showed the clip where he hit the 3. He was just doing everything. Draymond was hitting him for backdoors. And then his defense on Luka at the end of the first quarter, that possession, just phenomenal one-on-one defense.
I'm going to miss this 2-game series. That was fun. that was a lot of fun. These last 2 games were just so much fun.
But it would have been...
Yeah, no, I know.
Really fun.
Yeah, just beggars can't be choosers, dude.
No.
Can't eat your... Don't get your cake and eat it too.
I mean, that's another expression.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Don't judge a book by its cover, and don't look a gift horse in the mouth. We're going to go to break right now. When we come back, we're going to do some grand analytics, and we'll talk about the road trip coming up against San Antonio. You never heard that?
A gift horse?
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
What is a gift horse?
You never heard this?
Never. You just made that up.
I did not make that up.
You just made that up.
It's absolutely a terminology.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When someone gifts you a horse back in the day, it's looking in the mouth to make sure its teeth are okay. A sign if something's wrong with its teeth and not taken care of. So it's like saying, I'm giving you a gift, and you're looking at it being like, I'm going to have to check this out to make sure it's all right.
You want to know why I know that expression is stupid? Because it takes you 10 minutes to explain what it means.
Well, it shouldn't, because you should know it.
Never heard it ever before in my entire L.
Let's see.
A gift horse. I've never heard it. I mean, it's probably, an old expression from like the Depression era.
Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Yeah, I don't know another way to, that's it. Cheryl says, howdy, Grant and Drew. Reggie America, that's a real saying, Drew. And Connington Muller, it's a saying, Drew. I mean,
I'm going to have to fact check
Lisa, it's a saying, gift horse.
Well, get some new sayings.
Both
How about
Lisas are saying that. Mark, true that, Grant. I heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah, but all the kids these days that are, the non-Facebook crowd, like the
kids,
the
TikTokers,
they've never heard of that expression.
Yeah, because they need to get out more. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not. I'm just playing it safe.
You never really heard. Hey, Director Hart. Director Hart hasn't said, "Oh, I've heard that before." Therefore, he hasn't heard it before.
Yeah,
he would say in my ear,
or he's
never heard that.
Or he mutes our show.
No,
he just mutes
Director Hart has never heard that before, which is everyone in NBC Sports needs to get out more. Director Danny?
Director Danny.
Director Danny has never heard of this as well.
You know what? I'm just going to declare it. It's just a stupid saying.
It's not a stupid saying. It's a saying that comes through literature and through history and through time.
It's so dumb.
Oh, you should learn your references.
Who's gifting horses?
That's what you did. Welcome back to Warriors Outsiders, brought to you by FitAid. We just spent the last 2 minutes arguing about the fact that that is a line. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. In fact, everyone on Facebook agreed with me. However, the directors in my ear and Drew had no idea that saying existed, which means they have to read more. Okay.
It's a stupid line. Stop using it.
Nope. Granalytics. Steph has made 4 or more threes in 10 straight games. In those 10 games, are you ready for this? 58 of 116 for 50%. 116 attempts, he's shooting 50% from 3 during that stretch.
So you're going to the 10 games.
Yes. Oh, you want to go?
I want to go to the 8 where he's 52%, even better. But you're trying to do 10 because it shows you like even more attempts, and 50% is still pretty good.
Yeah, but it's more about the 4 or more in the 10 games. Yeah,
I know.
During that streak, he's been doing that. He's now shooting 42.5% on the season. It is just climbing exponentially and has been absolutely incredible. Draymond Green, I did mention him earlier. 6 steals, 4 blocks. We like to call those?
Stalks, but who keeps calling them stonks now? Are you seeing that on Twitter?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. At Memphis, do you remember this one?
February the triple-double without
2017. He had 15 stocks, 5 blocks and 10 steals when he had a triple-double with rebounds, assists, and steals. However, that's the last time, going all the way back, that he's had 10 or more stocks.
True story. Marc Gasol still has nightmares from that game.
Oh, that was rough for him.
Draymond
that was rough. I watched that game in Las Vegas. And then finally, Juan Toscano-Anderson, career-high 10 rebounds tonight. There you go. I predicted that for last game, and he got it this game.
You said a career high, he just needed to have 9.
Yeah, he
got
10.
8 was his career high.
Correct.
One more number that needs to be thrown out here, and we didn't discuss it at the beginning of the show. One reason the Warriors lost this game, you could arguably say it was the main reason, 17 second chance points.
Yes.
For the Dallas Mavericks, and we highlighted on Thursday the Warriors allowed only 2 second chance points, and that really helped them win that game. So once again, the offensive rebounding from the opposition really ended up hurting the Warriors big time.
I mean, to be fair, again, they didn't have any centers. So
no, I'm just saying.
No, but if there ever is a time that you can give an excuse for rebounding, I guess it would be this one or these last 2 games. However, still, it was already an issue, so it's like just compounds.
It happens.
Stuff. Looney, Wiseman, Pascal. I know there are issues sometimes with different lineups, and we've all looked at him and really dove in to find out who's the culprit for this lineup struggling, whatever.
Sure.
I can say this affirmatively: Kevon Looney would have helped dramatically defensively in these last 2 games.
Of course.
And that he was missed very sorely. Now, a lot of people are mentioning, like, why don't they just run small ball all the time? Well, if you just look at it, look how they played defensively. It wasn't great against a very good offense. Looney helps that. Definitely. Wiseman will help that. Pascal brings a different dynamic to the team as well. So they just all need to work together. However, they do know now that that small ball lineup can put up points.
They can go to that for longer stretches. It is not going to be something that they rely on from the opening tip, or, well, maybe from the opening tip depending on certain matchups. But no, that you still need James Wiseman and Kevon Looney to be contributors this whole season.
2 games against the Spurs. These are tough games. The Spurs are playing very well. They're 13-10?
They're 13-10. The Warriors are 12-11.
Yep.
I mean, these are 2 big games.
At San Antonio, where it's always hard to win. It's going to be fun. And we will be with you. And thank you for joining us. As always, Fit Aid thanks you as well. This is Warriors Outsiders, and we're out.